It's on. I want to try. Do you have the? You have it on. I know I have it on. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. But he needs to have it on. Hello? You need to take the other one. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, he's going to turn it on as soon as he's ready. So are you going to be speaking? Green.
Green.
Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to thank everybody for coming in today. We're really excited about the partnership that we have with William Garay and Exhort Leadership Group. So we're really excited about having him. Every time that we do have these events, we want to make, for our ambassadors, we want to make sure that we invest back into our ambassadors and our board members. So I want to thank some of our board members that are here today and our ambassadors. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. William Garay.
Thank you. Usually there's a round of applause when I come up. This is a little weird for me. Hey, we got to have good energy, you know. My name is William. It's very nice to meet all of you. I've been a member of the chamber since May. Here because Mr. Jesse was like, you need to come get involved. I said, all right, let's do it. I've had a couple of meetings with Mrs. Gina, kind of letting her know more and more about what I do and how I can help and how passionate I am. And the one thing I'll tell everybody about the Hispanic Chamber is just the advocacy that comes with it. And when you're in business, you don't know anyone, but being a part of this chamber has been like, hey, you're one of us, like immediately. And I love that. And I want to thank each and every one of you. It starts at the top, right? But between the board members, Ms. Gina's leadership, and all of you ambassadors, just to be like, come on, let's go. So I do live in Pearland, so it is a little bit of a hike, but I do love coming down here. That allows me to read my book. So what we're going to go over today is the REACH framework. REACH is an acronym that I came up with. Many of you may know I spent 13 years in the United States Army, and man, when I got out, I had zero friends and zero community, and it's very hard to try and get better and build connections. I worked at a warehouse for a couple of years. Right when I got out, went through a rough transition. I think everybody goes through a rough transition, no matter where you're at, especially in the military. So it was like, how do you get out? How do you meet people? And I'm an extrovert. I like talking to people. I'm pretty good at it. I can carry on a conversation. But I would come home with a stack of business cards and just be exhausted and not want to follow up with anybody. Like, do I even know this person? Do I remember what they did? Reading books, doing it over and over again, I realized that I needed to do something different. And this comes from a lot of different places, but REACH for me is an acronym that we'll go over. And I just love to be able to give value to other people, because then it's not so much sales anymore. It's all like, I trust this person, and this is how I'm going to be part of it, right? My wife and I, we have a second business. We do shaved ice and lemonades. We've been growing that business for 5 years now. And then I do professional coaching, do a lot of leadership development, a lot of workshops like this, and then other keynotes. Start by developing strong relationships with other people that are built on candor, honesty, mutual respect, and most importantly, integrity. This comes from Russell Ybarra. His book came out about 2 years ago called Enchilada Entrepreneur. Love it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Russell Ybarra. I lived down the street from the original Gringos. I followed him most of my life. I used to work at this Gringos too. And when I read this book, it was there's 10 life lessons from Tex-Mex. And when I think about Russell, he loves veterans. He loves his community, and he hasn't gone too far out of his reach. He's always built lasting relationships. Every person you talk to says pretty much that. Great person, gives back. It's because he's very intentional with how he builds his relationships. And when you go through and you read his book, if you do pick it up, he talks a lot about uh, COVID and what that taught us. You know, he didn't lay off many people. His favorite people to work with are the dishwashers because he has people that have been there for years. And this is a Tex-Mex. A lot of people do Tex-Mex. But for me, what really stood out was relationships with other people. And I'm like, how do I do this better? So I know you know about me, but I'd love to hear about you. One of the things I'd like to know is, will you introduce yourself, say your name, who it is? But I'm curious, what is your third favorite holiday? So it'll sound like this. My name is William Garay Jr. I'm with Exhort Leadership. My third favorite holiday is Memorial Day. I just love seeing the flags. I serve in the military, so it's very special to me. But Memorial Day, I also have friends that died on Memorial Day, and it's a day where I don't feel guilty to talk about that. So I just love Memorial Day. You're first. I'm sorry.
Marbella Hooper. I'm a board member. I'm a third favorite holiday.
Yeah, I know. Well, you usually got Christmas and you got Thanksgiving, right? But third favorite holiday, what would that be? Easter. Very nice. You've done this exercise, huh? It's like one of my favorite ones to do, Miss Monique.
Monique Cruz. I own Garay Agency in Carolina. My third favorite holiday would be Valentine's Day.
Ooh, no pressure. It's coming up, bro.
Jesse.
I'm Jesse Cruz. I'm the other owner of Brightway Insurance in Carolina, Texas. We do insurance, personal and commercial. My third favorite holiday would be the one that's coming up, Thanksgiving. Um,
Third favorite. I like
Yeah.
that. See? Good. So what are your first two?
First two,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's ahead of Thanksgiving?
Christmas is number one,
Uh-huh.
and then Memorial Day is number
Oh,
two.
I like that. I like that. All right, Jesse. Mr. Landis.
Lance Adams, Cape 4 Corporation, Genus Presidential Detail. My third favorite holiday by far is Veterans Day.
Uh,
Because I am a veteran, as well as my granddaughter was born on Veterans Day.
no, that's cool.
And we did that on purpose, by the way.
Now
We
you can,
actually did.
the free meals I'm
Yeah,
paying for this. I got you.
Jesse Roadhouse.
Yes. I love that. You want to go to the back too? We'll go this side? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Martha Lopez. I work at the First State Bank in Sweeney,
Hmm.
and I can probably say it's the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
Like we eat hot dogs and then the watermelon.
Oh, man. Watermelon sounds good.
The fireworks, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I am Ana Lourdes, chef of Venezuelan Food and International Catering Service. My third holiday is Thanksgiving. You know, since 12 years I'm in this country. It's a new festivity. I love it. In this
Oh, wow.
country. So that's my third. But it's now the coming one is the first one for the year. So
I know our businesses make us change. 4th of July for our shaved ice business, number one holiday. It's so busy that day. Let's keep going.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Tatra, and I'm the owner of CNC Boutique. And I think my third favorite is probably Thanksgiving as well, just
Oh.
because it gives you time to like actually bond with your family.
Mm. Very nice.
First and second. Halloween is my
I was
first.
gonna
Oh, yeah. See, I like that.
Halloween is my first, and then Christmas is my second. I
Very
think
nice.
Christmas and Easter probably would fight for second.
Ooh.
Because of my kids. But
Yeah.
Halloween's definitely my first.
Let's go to the back. Yes, ma'am.
Melanie Ramirez, I'm a membership coordinator for the Missouri County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also a real estate agent. I don't celebrate many of the holidays that much as Christmas, and the one that I kind of do in honor, it's Boss Day.
Mm.
Because I do appreciate a lot the leadership that I'm under. And so,
Ooh, love that.
Sucking up.
I love it. That's so good. I'm gonna have to remember that one. I'm gonna.
she said Gina, not Gina.
Yes, ma'am.
So my name is Stuart. My husband and I own Absolute Fence Services. We also have Absolute Outdoor Services, and I work for Equipment Share.
Heck yeah.
And so holidays aren't really my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate holidays.
Mm.
That probably has to be I don't have a third favorite. Halloween I just absolutely hate.
Wow. Interesting.
Scary.
I like it.
I'm here, and who invites you Halloween first?
My name is Mary, and I work for Gold Coast Auto Parts. The dealership's down 288, and I've been a board member for almost 2 years here at the
Wow.
chamber. And my third favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. My
Mm.
first is Christmas, and my second is Valentine's.
Yeah.
No, girl, I am not a Halloween person.
My name is Noelia Benavides, and I'm ambassador here with the chamber, and I'm also a realtor. But we do the one-stop shop concept, which means that I have an immediate lender in my team. So
Hmm.
you contact with me, you're going to contact with the lender immediately. So you conversate with one, you conversate with both. So
Yeah,
we can
very
make
cool.
sure that
Yep.
everything is getting taken care of right then and there. My third favorite is probably going to be Christmas. Easter
Mm.
is my first.
Love it.
Thanksgiving is my second. For those of you that said Thanksgiving, it's because you've never come to my house.
Ah.
Thanksgiving is the best.
That's an invite.
I love it because I love all the food that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it twice.
Yes.
Once you learn how to eat all that good stuff, it's like Thanksgiving becomes my second. Easter, I have to say, because Christ is first in my
I
life.
love that.
And so then definitely Thanksgiving second, Christmas is third. But
Mhm.
I like to celebrate all.
All right.
Okay, Torres on Lux Painting and Construction Services and board member, vice chair. Third favorite holiday would be Labor Day.
I hate to work.
I'm able to celebrate my employees.
I love that. Good perspective. I know we all know you, but I'm curious. Tell us.
You actually know what I like?
No.
Oh, okay.
I said we know who you are, but I want to hear it.
So I'm Gina Gary Adams, and I'm the president and CEO of the Missouri County Hispanic Chamber. Of course, I know that. So my third definitely would be, I had it in my head because I was thinking which one, because I was struggling which one I was going to have first. So I think Thanksgiving definitely is going to be my third. Even, and the reason being is my first is Dia de los Muertos.
Mm.
I love the culture, and my second is Mexican Mother's Day.
Oh yeah.
I do celebrate that, even though I'm not in Mexico, but I just love the different cultures. I'm really all about that. So.
Very nice. Well, I hope you guys get to see, when you lead with a little bit of vulnerability, a little bit of honesty, things change, right? The title is Más Que Networking, right? It's more than just, hey, who are you? How can I help you? How can you help me? And this is why you really need to go with me as your person, because of this. It's one thing that I've learned in what I introduced to the REACH method. So REACH is an acronym: research, engage, ask, coffee, or connect, and help. And if you've ever, well, I don't think I've ever had coffee with any of you yet. But one of the things I love to do is have coffee with people. I loved it so much, I almost named my business Brewed Leadership, because this getting here is where I have found the most squeeze. We've had coffee before, right? You meet, yeah, we had lunch. We meet, we engage, we ask good questions, we get to coffee. Coffee is where we talk about what your actual problems are and how I can preface myself as the solution to your problems. Or if I'm not the solution, someone in my network is. And we have a Friday morning group Jesse and I go to, and you see it so much more now. It is so cool to see. Where it's like, I know the guy, I know the guy, I know the guy.
What is the saying that they say that everything gets exposed at the table?
Mm.
So that's why they would even say in the culture in the United States, don't lose the dinner time at the table.
Yeah.
Because that's where people become vulnerable. So I guess that's the reason why.
Yeah, I've been to many networking events, and I can tell you, oftentimes we confuse networking with sales, and people will lead with their sales pitch. This is this happened Friday. This is why you need to come with my AI automation. Do you have AI in your business? Can it help? How are you using it? You know what? Here, book time on my calendar right now with me, and I'll show you. And I'm like, dude, that's a sales pitch. I'm here to have lunch, to meet people, to enjoy myself, not to talk about how you're going to take up more of my time as a business owner. And I told him that. Okay, man, I'm good. I check out. Anyway, so I'll walk. Let's walk through this. All right, the R, research. Okay, the one thing you can do is where are you going to be? Who's going to be in the room? Who can I talk to? That for me has been a big highlight. Now, is anybody self-identified as an introvert? Like I don't like events a whole lot. I know you are. Okay, great. This method right here is for you. This method for you more than anything else. Introverts have a distinct advantage over extroverts. I will go off script and talk to you, which is why I have to have slides. Otherwise, we'll talk about Veterans Day for a half hour, or we'll get on the subject of last names, and Jesse and I will just keep going, right? And this is true. So this is your script. Research the event before you go. Who are you going to meet? How am I going to work the room? I usually try to find at least three. Three is an easy goal. We can remember three. I usually find the event coordinator. I'll go to like Eventbrite, which is so using your research tools. Eventbrite, LinkedIn. Who's going to these things already? Who have I met? Who have I not met? Who do I know that's going to go? Who's going to be in the audience that I may want to go talk to? Any of the vendors I want to go to instead of just trying to work the entire room. Gets overwhelming, right? So as an introvert, find three. As an extrovert, this has been a great goal for me because again, I would go at the end of the meetings and just be exhausted and not want to follow up with anybody. A clear goal, you want to know who it is you're going to talk to. And if you do this beforehand, networking is not so scary. It's three. All I need is three good contacts. Everybody's heard of 6 degrees of separation, right? If I know 3 or 4, 5 good people, you can meet everybody else. Attendees, oh, I'm always looking for my referral partners. If Jesse's there, he's one of the first people I go say hello to. Hey, who's here that I should meet? If I'm going to a chamber event, I do the same thing. Hey, how's it going, Miss Gina? Yes. Okay. Is there anybody here I should meet? She knows. The event organizer knows. They know what I do. Yes, I know who you should go meet. So in my head, when I'm researching, I have a clear goal of how I'm going to network. And it's not so intimidating. It's like, okay, I'm good. You go to your ribbon cuttings, everybody knows there's going to be a lot of people there. But if I can know who else is going to, I can have my 5, 10 minute conversations. It's easier for me to stand out with the mustache and the dog, but it does help just to be like, hey, this is what's going on. This is how we do things. Any questions about researching? It's fairly straightforward. Facebook posts are easy. Eventbrite, LinkedIn. Those are your biggest sources for where is it going. The chamber website too. Who's going to be going? That's why it's important to say I'm going to be there. Your E. This is the most. This is your hook. Okay. When we're talking about TikToks or Instagrams, you want to have a good hook. Your E is your elevator pitch. But to get to the elevator pitch, the biggest thing I can tell you is count down from 5 and go do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go do the thing. This works everywhere, but especially in networking. I always count down from 5 and go talk to it. I know it's intimidating. I get it. People, you can be exhausted, but as soon as you get the inclination to go do the thing, go do the thing. Go do the thing. Yes.
So I did that. That was so out of my element, but I did that at one of our events, and I actually got 2 clients out of it.
Woo.
Because he was on the phone and he gets off the phone. I don't even know what he was talking about, and I just said, "I think that you need my business card." It worked, but it was out of my element, and it was kind of a okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you count down?
You know what? You probably did. You may have, right? This comes from Mel Robbins. I'm a huge fan of Mel Robbins. He's another leadership thought. She has a podcast, and it's the rule of 5. When you're counting down, you're launching yourself like a rocket ship out of it. I use this in the mornings when I'm coaching clients, and I'm like, where's your alarm clock? You do not hit the snooze. You just count down for 5, and you go do the thing. Get up, set yourself up, go launch it. Because that's the difference between us as business owners and people that don't. Is we did it already. We're going to do the thing. I'm going to launch the business. I know how scary it is. But if you count down from 5, you're giving yourself less outs to go do it. So Then you craft a good I help statement. Now, this is used a lot. Sometimes I'll change it up depending on the audience I'm in. This is your elevator pitch. I help business owners find clarity with their goals. That is what I'm doing right now. I help business owners find clarity in their goals because we want to do 15 things, but we can multitask, but we cannot multi-focus. You can do one thing at a time. So I find that's my I help statement. And the reason why this works so well is when I tell you who I help, it may be you, it may not be you, but you'll know somebody who I can help. You're like, oh, that does make sense. And then oftentimes when I say things like when in the very beginning when I talked about who I am and what I do, I give you things to link to, right? Veteran, Pearland, dog, kids, transitions. You're like, this is what I call branching. And so what we're doing is we're giving the other person something to talk about. And the easiest way to do that is to talk past, present, future. My name is William Garay. I served 13 years in the Army. I'm currently a leadership coach. I'm looking for business owners who need help finding clarity in their business. And somewhere within there, hopefully, if I hold enough space, you'll engage to say something about my past. Hey, thank you for your service. Something about what's going on. How did you get into coaching? Or something about the future. Or who are your ideal clients? Right? And so, as you, as a receiver, you're also looking for the same thing. You're listening to what they're doing. That is the biggest thing when it comes to networking, listening. I know I'm up here and I talk a lot, but trust me, I listen. I listen to what's going on, to what I'm hearing, so that I can make those connections. This is so important. This is my free takeaway. Okay, like if you guys want a copy of it, I'm happy to email it to you. Just remind me, Miss Gina. This is a digital download that I give to a lot of people. Like if you can visit my store, this is the thing that's free because elevator pitches is so important. It's so important. And I know I asked you name, business, what you do. What I typically use is a hook. I start with the story. I have a promise of what I do, a mini story, an invite. And it really just sounds like this. Hey, William, so tell me more about yourself. Well, I used to serve in the Army for 13 years. And when I transitioned, I got lost. I had no dreams and no goals. And so what I do now is I get really clear on helping business owners find the next goal because you have a lot of stuff on your plate. I really care about getting clarity because once I found the clear goal to get to, my entire life changed, not just for my business, but for my spouse and for my kids. How does that sound? Yeah?
But you didn't invite me.
Not yet. Not yet. Boy, you can get at the end, you can say, what brings us to what are you doing here? What brings you guys in here today? Right? So you're inviting conversation. This it's just a framework for you to use, right? It's going down deeper than just the elevator pitch, name, business, this is what I do, this is what I'm looking for, right? It's something for you to try, right? When you're cold calling someone and you're asking someone new to the chamber, why is it that you care? Why is it that you're here? I can tell you my why. I remember what it was like to be so dark and like, you remember the transition out? It sucks. And you feel alone because you're away from your community. Business owners go through the same thing. This is what's so great about having a pitch, right? I said business owners, I talked about the military and transition, but college kids, people moving to new cities, now you're starting to think, I know who this guy needs to talk to, right? When you have something that's crafted, it doesn't sound fake. It's authentic to you. It really is. This is taking me years to refine, but when I go and I introduce myself and I'm saying, I used to struggle, it's open, it's vulnerable. When I'm saying, what's your third favorite holiday? It's open, it's vulnerable. That is how you build trust. Know, like, and trust, you build it by going first, by initiating. We can spend as much time as you want on elevator pitches. If you guys ever have a question, I'm happy to hear what it is you want to do because that rehearse really does bring it out. But I'm an excellent steward of time. I am an excellent steward of time. I will be done here probably about 15, 20 minutes. So ask questions. If you want to be the most interesting person in the room, ask questions. To be interesting, you must first be interested. So, what is it that you do here? How did you get into that? Tell me more about your business. These are the best questions that she could ask. What, how, tell me more. Meaningful, open ended questions. It shows general interest in the person. Eddie, when did you start? When did you start your business?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. What was that like?
Hardest thing.
Hard as nails. Tell me more about that.
My garage and my house.
Sheesh.
Storage unit. I'm on 518 and Code.
Wow.
Cube Smart.
And a Cube Smart.
And actually a storage unit.
Yeah. So what's your message to business owners now?
Never give up.
And that was authentic, right? That's unscripted. But you can see how the more I ask him, the deeper I can go. And I show him I'm genuinely interested in this business. Like that is, I could keep going, right? I could keep going. So if you stick to what, how, and tell me more questions, you will build that relationship with the person you're engaged with. You show them how you can help. You show them that you're interested. Now you're really building a relationship and connections, right? Uh, I tend to stay away from what is it that you do. What is your business? I usually ask what's exciting that you're working on. Any big goals for the end of the year? Obviously, because I'm talking about goals a lot. You know, because people are more willing to talk about that. And again, it leads to the branching. It leads to what's next. Because I could keep asking questions. And when you learn to really ask good questions, they're open to tell you more. Did everybody know where Eddie started? No? See that when you're able to do that, you go a little layer deeper than just superficial. Oh, I know a realtor. I don't even need to worry about that. No, I help people. And we could spend. I love talking about this because for me it's the value. It's the value. It's knowing the person. This is what I've seen from this chamber, especially the person. The person. I I won't go anywhere else. I'm going to do business with these people because these are my people. Very intentional, direct. Time is really of the essence, especially at networking events. Um, so don't be afraid to ask. Again, I said it earlier. I always ask for introductions, especially now that I know everybody in the room. When you see me at the next event, I'm going to ask you, who should I talk to? Who should I talk to? More than likely y'all know what I do. Or who are you interested in getting introduced to? Who can I introduce you to? What are you looking for next? That is a great one. I love talking about that one because now you're giving them value and it's almost like an IOU, you know, dropping them in. Yes, ma'am.
So I think when you go into a networking space, I think to me, you can talk to anybody in whatever you're doing because you never know. Because if you start to select, and I'm just thinking this, if you select the places that you go, depending on like I'm not going to go to this ribbon cutting because they would never do business with me. But that's not true. You never know if they would do business with you or know somebody that can do business with you. Because it's important to go to ribbon cuttings. And I tell a lot of people that you get a lot more out of ribbon cuttings because if you go, people see that you went and they are going to want to connect you, either do business with you or connect you with someone. So, and when I go into meeting places, I want to meet with like everybody. Like I don't want you to tell me who I should meet with because then you don't know exactly who I'm going to really click with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, and maybe that's just me being different. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think networking is about building a referral partnership, not clients.
Mhm.
You're not going to find your next client at a networking event. Jesse and I, we've been friends for years now. We're not each other's clients, but I will send people to the number one insurance agency in this city, and that's Brightway Insurance every time.
Mhm.
And when he knows of opportunities for me, he sends them my way, right? And we met, we became friends, referral partners. That's what we're trying to build at networking events is a referral partner. That's my take because otherwise it gets hard to sell to everybody. And so when you're at an event and you continue to show up, you're showing I'm here for you. It's just like your kids, right? When you go to an event, are they looking for you? That's how you show them you care, right? You show them you care by you showing up. When you show up to somebody else's events, you show them you care. And people will do business with that type of people. Yeah. Ask good questions. Ask open-ended questions. And sometimes some people are short. I get it. Avoid yes or no questions. Keep asking questions. You know, they're like, this person will not leave me alone. They're like, well, It's okay. Is there something else is there someone else you'd rather be introduced to? You know, especially as ambassadors, you guys know the lay of the land. You're probably pretty good at engaging people already. You know, find out what they're looking for and how you can get deeper. Because by adding free value that way, man, it just goes so far. The C, I always get to coffee. I never talk about price at a networking events. I never talk about. People will ask, you know, well, what is that like? Or as a realtor, do you charge 2 or 3%? Well, you know, that's something that we take into consideration. You know what I mean? What does a workshop look like to you? You know, I don't want to tell them the price right there. I'm like, you know what? It's something we could talk about. Let's go to coffee. I think I may have done that. So when it comes to following up, you get the good email and you follow up with them 24, 48 hours. It takes time. I'm guilty of waiting a long time to do it. Um, I love to use this phrase. Would you be against grabbing coffee? Yeah, because it's a no question. You lead with no questions. There's security in no. How many parents out there? When your kids ask you something, what do you say first? Exactly. So I let them say no to me. I let them say no to me. Would you be against having coffee? No. All right, what time works for you? A or B? And you guys know that, but literally, it's, I'm telling you, that question has led me so many different places. Would you be against me coming in and giving you guys a workshop next month? Yeah. Would you be opposed to me trying this again at your business? Just feels like, no. Yeah, let's do that.
That
Right?
does sound kind of weird.
But because if you say yes, what are you committing to? Right? So I get the coffee, and like, would you be opposed to having coffee on Tuesday or Wednesday? You know, that no facing question is far, it's long. But again, in the business that I do, it's never a quick transaction. I'm trying to build it so that we can continue to come back. I'm always trying to provide value. If they're not a good fit for me, I'll find out who they're a good fit for. You know, if they're in the roofing industry, maybe they need some help. Hey, the follow up looks like great meeting with you. I think I have someone that you should connect with, and it's a connection email to Eddie, right? That's free value, not for me. It's also builds me good credits with Eddie or with Jesse. So even if they're not my ideal client, there's someone in my network's ideal client, or at least a possibility. This has got me so far because now people do that to me. You're developing good deposits, right? We talk about relationships a lot. Before you can make an ask in a relationship, you have to deposit. It's just like your bank account. Your bank accounts, you put money in first. You cannot take. So every new connection, every networking event, find a way to deposit first. Who can I introduce you to? How can I help you? And then this is really a good way of taking it. I usually try to do three. If I can do two, and if they don't write back to me, then I won't give the third. All right, I'll give two, hold the third. Let's see if they give me one back. If they do, I'll send the third because I know Jesse. He'll follow up. All right, coffee. Coffee for me is just it's the same curiosity, going deep. What is your real problem? Yeah, they may tell you it's this, but man, coffee. I get so much clarity. I've gotten so many clients just from going to coffee. Yeah, yeah, that's true. The last H is the help, right? How do I pay it forward? Offer value. Is there a podcast that I know you should listen to? Is there maybe an article that I've seen that you're part of? The H is always a way for me to give one more thing. We're in a relationship now, each of you and me. I'm always going to over deliver for you, so I'm going to find a way to give you 51%, even though you may only pay me 49. I'm always going to find an over way to deliver, over deliver for you, one way or another. If it's another connection, if it's leveraging my network, if it's giving you a tag on Instagram, you know, like those are all small little things that people do that mean so much, especially to a small business or to someone in your referral network, right? If you prioritize their needs over yours, you'll win. I'm a coach. My level of success is dependent on how many other people I make successful, not the money I make. How many other people can I make successful? Heck, more successful than I am. And I'll be happy with that. So that's your H. That is how you reach effective people. Networking with the purpose. Any questions?
How long have you had Grace?
2.5 years. She's 2.5. I've had her for 2 years. Everyone knew the mustache. Now they know Grace.
So I don't know the mustache either.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry. It's on my business card though. Yeah. That's how
It's the mustache.
it's the mustache.
What's behind it?
Yeah. A lot of heart.
Like the mustache is what you-
That's a good one. I did that a lot too. When I connect, if you ever connect with me, must ask for to connect. If you find your thing, you leverage it, you keep going.
And I think it's also a way for him to stand out from amongst the crowd because so I met William through the Fairland Chamber and we hit it off in a Christmas holiday. Well, we met and then we met for lunch after that. But I've seen him grow within the Fairland community.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that people recognize William with a mustache. They're like, oh, the mustache.
The guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Kind of like my glasses.
Yeah.
Everybody knows my glasses. My staff wore my glasses for Halloween.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So I believe that the mustache is a way for him to stand out.
Yeah, and I do like the must ask.
Yeah.
I like to do that. Must ask. Mustache for coffee. I'm telling. Have I sent it to you? I'm telling you. I pick on you because I think I did say that. I like mustache to connect or mustache to coffee or whatever it is. Um, I know I've done it to you guys. I say like,
Yeah.
all right. So these are my top 10 takeaways that I see from networking events. Right. If you don't do the reach method, if you take one of these, like just pick one and focus on that. Right. Shockingly helpful. Find a way to help. I got really good at the Pearland Chamber because I would go early for events and I would stay late. I could, and they was just bringing stuff in. There's always a way for you just to add a little more value. If you're really good with the person holding the event, and you just provide a little value. If you're there early for the ribbon cuttings, if you're, stay late to break down, if you find a way to serve, like overly intentional, like this guy's trying to do something, but it works. It works. The road less traveled for me um, is I love a good thank you card, right? Who writes thank you cards? Yeah, everybody now writes thank you cards. So this is your task. It's one way to continue to stand out. Thank you cards, something nice, something of value, to really show I care. Thank you. Um, and it's just another way of standing out. I love books. I give books to people all the time, and like my favorite book is The Go Giver. I usually buy them in like 10 to 20 of them, and when I meet for coffee for someone I'm really interested in, here's a book. Check this out. $10. Did you have a question? No. Uh, not yet. Hey, I can't use all of them on the same person. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Again, events that you don't think are for you, those are the ones that land the most fruit. Events that you don't think are for you, right? Like if I'm a coach, going to a leadership conference, it was a bunch of coaches there. I found the most place I get a lot of referrals from are real estate events because they're always looking for this type of engagement. Title companies because they're always looking for CEs. I had no idea, right? So out of your comfort zone for something different that you wouldn't normally attend. Uh, Networking happens all the time. This is why I always say rethink networking events. You have your alumni that are very big. You have different community groups. You have your running groups. You have mastermind groups that we have on Fridays. Uh, there's always something different that you can do. Um, Networking happens all the time. It's about relationships. That's what's most important. Not that it's a networking event. It's relationships. Unconventional group. This is what I do on Fridays. On Fridays, Jesse and I have had a group now for a year and a half. I know, Grace. On Fridays, I put together a group because as someone who transitioned, I didn't have friends coming out. Not from here. And we meet every Friday on purpose for coffee. So much so that I started a second group and we meet at 9 a.m. at Live Java. And this is people that I didn't know that I respected in the community. I think you may have talked about a mastermind before. That's what that is. Just finding someone to meet. Hey, every week, can we go to lunch? Every other week, can we do lunch just to chit chat? Inviting people with no sales stuff behind it, because there's always something. And it's worked really well. It's actually why I'm here today. Jesse told me to come join, come provide value. I did my thing, and now I'm here presenting. Of course, alternate places to network, like I said, your running groups, professional associations, volunteering, nonprofits. Man, those are some people who are in nonprofits on boards usually have businesses, usually have the same values that you do. You know, your soccer clubs, football clubs, Rotary. Those are all places to get really good at networking because there's less sales and there's more relationships. Social media is everywhere, the bane of everyone's existence. I know it sucks, but when you're able to give a shout out on social media to somebody else, it makes it easier for me to like shout out somebody else, you know, and it's content. Journalists, questions, biggest thing you can take away really is questions. It's the number one thing I talk about with my clients too. What questions are you asking? Ask good questions, get good stories. Get good stories. I always keep my initial messages brief. This is something I may not do as often, but I do pretty often. I'll say if it's a cold email, I'll be like, hey Jesse, just give me 60 seconds and I'll be brief. Hey, I just need 30 seconds. When you read that, you're more likely to finish the email. And then keep it 30 seconds. You know, I just have a 60-second question for you. What do you think about this XYZ? Close it out. Keep it brief. So anytime we go to coffee, I'm like, hey, would you be against having coffee? I really enjoyed meeting you. 60 seconds. That's it. And the last one, authenticity goes the furthest way. When you can show who you are, people relate to that, right? We're talking about Dr. Seuss. Nobody can be you except you. You got to be odd to be number one, right? Authenticity. Can nobody be you? And you want content? What do you talk about? What do you like to do? I talk about service dogs and family and veterans and all the things because my audience is usually me. I'm talking to myself, much like now.
So making connections, right? So building relationships, and maybe tell me if I'm right about this. I'm not. So I love to network with other people, no matter if I think that they're another chamber, no matter anything, right? Sometimes a lot of people I know tend, and it's easy to get this way, where they tend to pick and choose who they want to talk to.
Yeah.
Um, kind of looking at somebody as a competitor. I don't want to talk to them because they're a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And that runs really big, deep in our Hispanic culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're very competitive, and we don't want to be friends with everybody. So we're trying to bring that message out to our community that way, even in our Spanish speaking community, because a lot of the times you can get them in a room because they think the other person is a competitor.
Mm.
So learning to work together, right, and helping each other, because there's a lot for everybody out there.
Right.
I think that's a very big message. I don't know. What do you think about that? I mean, do you see a lot of that?
Yeah, it gets easy to kind of compare yourself to other people, right? But if at the end of the day your job is to serve the client the best, then maybe you're not the best fit all the time, right? You can do all things, but you can't do everything. So that's what I focus on the most, right? There's a little bit in the questions that you're asking is others focused. I would cuss, but hey, that's on them. It says more about them than it does you. So when you focus on what you can do and how you can provide, that's what matters. And you're going to get a lot more with honey than you can vinegar, right? Even if I'm telling you, there's people that I don't like either. But you send them a client that's difficult, Send them a client that's difficult that you're having trouble with. Like, I can't get to this person. Here you go. Hey, I got a referral for you. And again, maybe they're a better fit for them. And that's what I have seen work is just continuing to provide value, right? I don't go too far outside what I can't control. You can't say it. Not everybody's made for this. I got it, But at the end of the day, I'm still going to give that 51%. One more thing that I can do to help you. That's it. Will I remember that next time, right? Yeah. Am I going to continue to put all my effort into it? No. The messaging is hard. All you can do, the best way to lead is by example. That's all you can do is by example. I make referrals. I put people together. After that, I'm not going to continue to follow up to make you work with them. You know?
Right. And I think not burning bridges is the biggest thing because you never know if they're going to use you, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is an abundant life. You know, when you start looking at scarcity, then yeah, you're going to find scarcity. So when you look into abundance, there's nothing that the Lord can deliver to you.
And actually, I've been trying. What I do is I take the good out of certain people. You know, 'cause I never judge anybody, but I try to take the good out of. I whatever. I don't. I don't
That's why
judge.
you don't get any relationship.
Yes.
So, no, but I'm saying I like to because I might judge at the beginning, but I try to learn more about them and take the best out of them that I can use.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that I actually use them, but I kind of do. You know what I mean? I use them for their qualities and
Yeah.
what I can get from
It's
them.
always the secondary effect,
Yeah.
right? It's the other things that happen because of that. You know, you can't. It's the interest that you're building. You know, it's the deposits that you're making. You're just making them. I just make deposits everywhere I go, and just keep finding ways to give value, and eventually they'll turn. You know, if not that person, the connection to that person. Um, so this wraps up my reach network, my reach framework, right? This is how I network. This is what I have found that works. I have an ebook out about this if you're interested in going to actually find out the whys. This is how you can connect with me. Follow me on socials. Again, the stand store is where I have my ebook and the free download. So if you guys are interested in how to craft, yes, yeah, stand store has been really good to me. So if there's any way I can continue to serve y'all, let me know. Any last minute questions?
Is this where we clap?
Not yet. Who are Grace?
I want to thank you for taking your time and coming out and doing this leadership class, and we want to thank you for everything.
Thank you. Glad to be
Right.
here.
Before we wrap up, why don't each one of you share your experience with this?
Hey, it's
What
nice.
can you take from this?
From this today,
Yes, from
Today's class.
today.
Anybody want to raise your hand and say what you took
I
from
can
this?
share.
Here.
I think that you tested. What is this for?
It's a Mac.
Oh, don't scare me. It's like, I think that you reinforced a lot of the nuggets of truth that I work by. With my very first broker, the first teaching that I received was you never compete because we live in a world of abundance. And
Yeah.
I initiated my business that way. And everybody says, I mean, I don't know, Naomi, everybody says that this year real estate has been bad. It has not been for me. I cannot say that. Now, my goal has always been, and that's why I'm saying this, this was like a reinforcement of everything that I've done, is I don't seek things from people. I'm looking for opportunities to give. My duty is to be a resourceful person, to deposit. What can I help you with? It's not what do I need from you. It's what can I help you with? And every single when I used to make phone, they did at the office. They didn't want me to make cold calls because I ended up with a relationship and a friend and forever.
Yeah.
Because I've always called them and it wasn't of like, are you interested in buying or selling? It's like, do you have a home? Is there anything I could do in regards to your property taxes or anything? It was always looking for a way to give them something. So, and I was always remembered also a slogan that they had at the school, and it says, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." So it's important to always find a way to deposit into people because we see them, and that's why I think it's like you said, everything you said. The table is the best place. Nobody's going to open up to you what they're going through until you sit down and tell them how much you care for them. Then they will open up and say, "Man, you know what? This was just a perfect timing that we sit down. This is what I'm going through." And that is when you gain the relationship because, like I tell you, they're going to forget about everything, but not how you make them feel when they were in a tough situation. So thank you because everything that you use is exactly what I've been using, and it's a reinforcement and it's a reminder to just keep doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Because it has worked for me in this area. And I started literally with no clients. And I have a big database by the grace of God and the favor of God, because every month and it's all by referral. I would say my business runs on about 80 to 90% referral.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
My takeaway is to go.
Hold on, hold on.
Go be uncomfortable. I know.
What is it?
That's it.
To go be uncomfortable
Okay.
and go to the events that you think aren't for you.
Yeah. That's a good one.
All right. Yes.
Oh no.
No, so my takeaway, something that I have not been doing, but I've been doing better of, is asking questions at events, asking questions more about them and figuring out more about them personally and their business. So I'm glad that you talked about that. That's key. And then also my takeaways for like events, networking events, is always connect one person to another. At least leave that networking event connecting one person to somebody else, or inviting them to William's mastermind
He does do that a lot.
mastermind group, which I just invited Landis. Landis, if you
You
look at your
did? Oh, okay.
so for this Friday, invited you.
9 a.m.
Okay, you got to get up early, man. Wake up till 11.
Anybody else? All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right. Then we can clap.
Now we can clap.
And now I have somebody to refer, you know, I have a person that before everybody.
Oh, thank you.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, we're here to provide resources for people, so then it's nice that I now have a business leadership guide.
And surprisingly, for most of my clients, females.